Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads. And today we're here to talk about Facebook and Google ads. So I'm not sure how long all of you have been with us, but if you don't mind putting it in the chat panel, let me know how long you have been with us, a couple months or a couple years. Also, let me know if, is it yes on Facebook? Have you run ads on Facebook? And is it yes or no on Google? Have you run ads on Google? So I wait for those answers just to get an idea of who I'm speaking with here today, we do a lot here at Listings to Leads. We're here to really help you promote your listings. We're pretty confident. We have a lot of feedback from people that when you run your listings, you market them with our tools, you end up getting, doubling your listings or even tripling your listings. So if you need more listings, you really want to look at how you can market with our platform, right? And we also, if you don't have listings, you can borrow listings from colleagues. You can borrow sold listings if you want. And there are also PDF guides and there are also landing pages. And there are some other tools that are going to help you market and get things out. But today's class is about the Facebook and Google side of our platform. And so, I do want you to kind of learn about the rest. So I want to send some things to you right now as we're getting started. And the first one is leadgenwebinars.com. I'm not sure how you found this class here. Let's see, where's the questions I just had here? Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to send this to everybody right now. This should be blinking in your little GoToMeeting chat panel now. It's a link to leadgenwebinars.com. I do 2 classes every week. Scott does 1 or 2 every week, and you can sign up for them right here. So I do Facebook and Google. Scott does social media and database mastery and also farming. So if you're really trying to build out your farm or you're trying to convert your leads that you have in your CRM, those are good classes. Next Monday, I start doing Get Started. Then I'll be doing a class for loan officers. And then I'll be doing top tools for more listings. And when it comes to top tools for more listings, actually a lot of the things there are related to Facebook and Google. So there's a little bit of overlap, but you definitely want to see that class if you want more listing. So that's all on leadgenwebinars.com. And every class, including this one, is recorded. We put it right here on this page. So let me send this to you. And this is honestly the page that I recommend that everybody saves and refers to. This is going to sound like a lot because these classes are an hour long. But honestly, our system can help you double your business and triple your business. We've seen it for many clients. It doesn't happen in a month or 2, but it does happen in a year or 2, right? And the way that those people are able to do that is they learn what tools they're going to use and use them consistently. So to really understand what we have here, you've got to spend a little bit of time inside of our system, right? And understanding what's going on. So like I said, here's Scott's class for geo farming. Here's how to, work your database. Over here is top tools for more listings. And honestly, I think everybody needs more listings and you want to watch 2 or 3 of those classes. The last one I did was 2 days ago. And then I do, this one here? This one's for lenders, and down here, Get Started. Actually, the Get Started classes are also very useful. Facebook and Google, which is the one we're doing today, it's usually very straightforward. So you don't need to see too many of those because it's actually very simple. But this is here. Another thing I want to remind you is, so our classes that we do, the ones that Scott does, they're pretty long. I talk for an hour. But this short section right here, you can access our short videos, which are 1 minute long on YouTube right here. You should subscribe to those. If you like Instagram, go follow us on Instagram at Listings to Leads, and you'll see the shorts there. And these are really 1 minute videos telling the story of what one of our clients has done, how they've used a tool and gone out and had some success. So you can learn about, a successful strategy in 1 minute. So that's definitely, I think, very, very useful. So we'll close that. I think I sent that to everybody, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So hold on, let's see here what we got here. Some people, 6 years on and off for Connor. Yeah, I recognize your name. And Google wouldn't be bad, but Facebook is what I need more refinement on. Yeah, I have always thought I had the market cornered with my content, but I need to use what I offer. I can be taught. Oh, that's good, Connor. Okay. Connor, aren't you from like, Luli, 3 years. And yes, I've done Facebook. Okay. And Lisa, been with us, Lisa for 10 years. Thank you. I recognize your name. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And Kashif, where do we find the recordings for this webinar? I thought I sent this to everybody, but let me send this to you right now. And I'll send this to everybody, but Kashif, this is the answer. This is where all these videos are, right? So this is going back to everybody. And then, yeah, Santa Clarita, that's right. I closed an office up there. Who was that? Realty executives in Santa Clarita. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So this is a great resource. You definitely want to spend some time looking with this. Oh, Jim Tanner. Yeah, yeah. They're still with us. Yeah, that's right. So, and then one thing I want to point out, this is another great resource. It's a private group on Facebook. And if you're a client, make sure you get in here, and you should scan this every, I'd say 5 or 10 minutes every week to see what we're doing, what new stuff is happening here. And also what questions people have and what successes that people have. And you can learn a lot just by scanning here. But I want to point something out, because when it comes to Facebook, we often see this, right? He's saying, "Hey, Facebook has banned me for running ads," right? Then they're really horrible. I think when it comes to support, Facebook is one of the worst companies I've ever seen. There's one that's worse. It's called ListHub. But boy, Facebook is like useless, and which is ridiculous, because people like you want to run ads. Now, I want to point this out. Actually, I'm going to see if I can share this with you. And if you have this problem, if you're locked out of your account, so I'm going to send this to everybody right now. And honestly, this might be a resource that you save for your friends, your colleagues, because having two-step authentic, what our agents are telling the one agent who's kind of complaining, it's that once they set that up, Facebook quit harassing them, right? And two-step authentication means you sign in with your email, and then you sign in again, they send you a text, right? It's just horrible. For the past couple of years, Facebook just bans people for really no reason. And then you have to like keep harassing Facebook to fix it. So if that's a really good fix, boy, that's awesome, right? But anyway, that's that side of things. I'm going to show you one thing while we're in the mastermind group regarding Facebook, so that you can learn from this. We're going to listen to a guy named Brian, who I sold their company in a couple years now. And Brian owns that office. And this video that you're about to see, he is sharing with his agents to show them the success he's having with our ads. So let's see if we can hear this for a minute.
I wanted to share with you guys a little success story. So this morning, Thomas that's on our team talking about listings. How are we going to go approach listings with listings? So most of you are using the listings platform. One of the things that you can do in listings is mark a property that is either under contract or just sold. So last week we closed 47.
So I'm going to interrupt, because I think you can hear me better than this. This is what Brian says. He said he's teaching his agent how to flip the property to sold in listings leads and run an ad on it to get listing leads. But what he says right here is he got 114 buyer leads from this home while it was for sale. Okay. He got those from Facebook, and he said this looked really good. The ad looked good. People really responded. Maybe it was a swimming pool in front. I don't know. But he got 114 buyer leads, and a buyer lead on average costs $3 each on average. Sometimes it's less and sometimes it's more, but on average across the US, it's $3 per lead for buyers. Okay. On Facebook. So to get 114 buyer leads, which is what he's saying here, that would cost about $350. Okay. And what he says next is they converted 4 of those people to buying a home. So, and this is pretty fast. This is all in just a couple weeks. He converts 4 of those people into purchasing a different home, not the same home, obviously, right? So the commission in Texas on 3 home purchases is probably more than $350. And so that really speaks to the kind of ROI that you can have there. And then what he says is, well, and then after we did that, and we sold it, we flipped it to sold. We ran one $50 ad on a sold ad on the same property, and we got 1 lead for $4. They charged him $4 for that seller lead. And he said, then we texted that lead. We texted him until the afternoon. He was tired of texting and he wanted a phone call at 4:00. And on that phone call, he wants to talk about selling his home for 400 grand and buying another for 450 grand. So that's 850 grand in volume from one ad on Facebook on a sold property. Now, Brian here has his own office. It's quite a number of agents, in the office. And so he goes through a lot to really learn how to use our system and how to engage his agents in using the system. So I just wanted to share that with you kind of right up front. Like that's a good way to start, discussing what Facebook and Google can do. I do want to also stress something about the ads and about a conversion, because I literally had I think some lady signed up just a couple days ago and ran an ad and got 8 leads. And she hits support, says, I want to cancel. None of these leads are converting. Right. And I want you guys to understand that these are considered online leads. And they're in our platform, you can get leads that are higher quality and lower quality, but Facebook leads are kind of online leads. And I think the average conversion rate is 1%. Now we have clients who convert at 4 and 5%. Okay. I don't know how they're doing it. I know that Brian uses a text service, part of his CRM, and that starts following up with text and very fast and great. And that's cool. I'm not sure how all of I know we have a Remax team. They convert at 5%. I don't know what they're doing to do that. Right. But I do think when you capture a lead with a name, email, and phone number, I know you've kind of been trained to call them. And I know if you do that, you're going to find that they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not really interested. Right. Because nobody really wants to talk to somebody who they don't know. Right. But when you run an ad on Facebook and they click on that ad, they are physically looking at their name, email, and phone number, which has been pulled in from their profile automatically. So they're not even typing it in. And they had to say, do you want that information? Yes, submit my info. Boom. And so they know they gave that to you. It's just they don't want to take your phone call, right? Because they don't know you and maybe they're not ready for that discussion. That's why texting is really important. And I'm not trying to upsell you here, but if you are, I don't know what brought you to list leads. Right? A lot of people say, oh, I've heard about you for years and I got a listing and I want to market it. I want to really look good and do good for this. Right. But there are others out there, other of our clients that are really focused on growing their business. And to do that, you need to talk to more people. And to do that, you need to be advertising, right? And use our tools in various ways, our print tools, our e-flyer tools, our Facebook ad tools, our free tools, and capture leads, right? So if you're doing that, I do want to suggest this to you. We have some new technology here called AI text follow-up. And I think right now it's $50 a month and it'll work on 50 leads. So if you're going to be capturing like minimum 50 leads a month, which honestly you should, you want to probably be thinking about signing up for this. So this is AI text follow-up, right? And you know what AI, because you're hearing about it all over the place. We launched this, I think in October. We've been working through it all quarter and testing it with clients and things like that. And what I'm excited to tell you, which Scott and I were looking at just last week, is that this software It rolls with anything. If they start talking about sports, it's going to talk about sports. If they talk about weather, whatever, but it's always going to bring them back to, these questions about whether they were a buyer lead and what they need, or whether they were a seller lead and what they need. And what we have seen, what I just saw, is we are converting 9% of those leads to a phone call, right? And I think that if you guys had phone calls of people who were ready to talk, you'd probably do pretty well with that. Now, you don't have to use our text follow-up, but if you're going to be running ads, especially with a Facebook, and you get leads with phone numbers, you need to start texting first, not calling first. And one other thing along those lines, if you don't have your CRM, please turn on our follow-ups. Mine is a little more busy. You'll have a seller lead follow-up and a buyer lead follow-up, and you'll have it in Spanish too if you're working in the Spanish market. But if you have a CRM and your leads are dropping into your CRM, and you have a drip campaign coming from whatever great CRM you're using, if you're not getting your phone to ring or getting feedback from your leads, right? Like it's time to talk or do something, I recommend that you disconnect that and you turn on our follow-ups. Ours, we already know we have a high open rate. We have a client from KV Core who is a trainer for KV Core, one of the national three. He says, we A/B tested, you have a higher open rate than us. And I know from just talking to agents that these are closing appointments because we're integrating our tools not in each, but in every other message. There's either a PDF guide or a landing page. So these drip campaigns have value. And so if people are opening them and they're downloading them, you have a hotter lead, right? So that's just a little bit about conversion. And if you're, a client, you've got one listing and you're just going to do that and then cancel and go on and do something else, you don't need to worry about text follow-up. If you're a client who's trying to generate 50 or 100 or 200 or 400 leads every month because you want to convert 1 to 3%, well, that's going to have an awesome impact on your business. And that's where I'm really going to recommend that you focus on Facebook. So the reason why is when we run an ad on a listing or on a landing page or on a PDF guide, we are using what's called Facebook lead form. So let's run an ad, not on a home that's for sale. Let's run an ad. Well, actually, let's do one for sale. And I'm going to leave it on lead ads. If you ever get faced with the option of traffic or lead ads, I really recommend that you use lead ads, because what that means is when they see the ad and they click on it, this little window pops up, says, would you like that information? Would you like an open house? Would you like your home value? Would you like whatever you're talking about? When they click on learn more on that picture or anywhere, their name, phone number, and email are sitting right there. Do you want that information? And there's two answers: close it or yes. So when you get their name, phone number, and email, they were literally looking at this on Facebook. Okay. And let me show you, in case you don't know where that goes, right? When you run an ad on Facebook, it lands on the news feed. Okay. And when you come to Facebook, whether you're on your phone or you're on a computer like I am right now, you're always going to see something that you following. I follow some weird art thing, right? And then the next thing is going to be a sponsored ad. And that sponsored ad could be your open house, you're just listed, you're just sold, what is your home worth in Miami or whatever it is, like right there. Now, Roy and Kitty, it's kind of stock market guy, right? If you click here, you're going to probably be driven to his page. Ours say learn more, and a little window pops up when they click that. It says, hey, do you want that information? Right. And that's how it works. American adults. So, TikTok is closing down on Sunday, and boy, that's going to make a lot of people cry. Actually, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. They're going to lose businesses that they've created there. But on Facebook, 70% of American adults spend 40 minutes every day scrolling through the nonsense here. They see what their friends are eating. They see what they like to follow. Who knows what they're going to see? And that's, but there's going to be ads just like this one here, right there. And your ads could be right there if you click that button there that says create ad. Okay. Now there's a couple things I want to say that you can do here. There are different templates. And that's a template of, what that's going to look like. This says just listed in Folsom. You can click right in the text right there, and you can say, new, granite kitchen, whatever. I heard granite's out, but I could say, you know, great schools, right? Maybe there's a barn, maybe there's a wine cellar. Something, if there's something unique about this home that's not in this text, you can put it right there. I do want to kind of let you know, like, our clients often don't do anything like this. They just do their default settings and they're getting buyer leads and seller leads. What I do want to recommend is that you don't do like the 3-paragraph text in there. I know realtors are designed that you have to do that for the MLS, but it's kind of counterintuitive on Facebook. It's got to be short. Everybody's more visual driven here, and that's kind of what you want to do. There are a couple things that I do want you to know how to do when you're talking about a home that's for sale. And that is, if you click this button here that says change image/video, that opens up this window. And from here, you can upload a video. So if you paid a videographer, to do like a walkthrough and show the house, you should definitely use that, because that's going to replace that static image that we were looking at and just have a moving video. And that could be awesome, right? But I want to click on 5. I'm going to click on the template that was there. And I'm going to click on this living room and this kitchen and this pool and this bedroom. You can have a maximum of 5, actually. So I think is that 5? Oh no, I can't count. So yeah, it's maximum of 5. And I'm going to click insert. And this creates what's called a carousel ad. Okay. So now people can see a little bit more about the house without actually clicking on it. This might make it's worth testing, might make this a little more effective, right? There's also something that's also very important. And that is, you might be in an area where you got high inventory and the properties aren't moving and you need to get them moving, right? Interest rates are high, so that's slowing things down. Obviously, we all kind of know that. But if you're in the southern states like Florida, I have a lot of clients in Florida and they're doing a number like this. They're saying, hey, I want to target people who live in freezing cold Chicago, right? Because I got a condo or whatever that's like, nice and warm. People like to make that move, right? You could target New York. You might, and I was just talking to a lady in Arizona. She had a nice luxury home. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm not trying to be, negative, but there are a lot of people that are displaced in their homes in the LA region right now to a horrible fire. And if you put in Santa Monica and you say, hey, put a 30-mile radius, they're probably going to see that ad. And they may need to get, they're going to be fighting with the insurance or not for a couple of years now. That's going to be a multi-year situation. And they may need a home. Like there are thousands of people who need a home. So, that might work for you too. What else? Yeah. Oh, the last thing is the budget, right? So the budget is $35. And I mentioned it earlier, but buyer leads on Facebook typically cost $3 each. So if you have a $35 ad, you divide 35 by 3 and you can expect 11 leads, right? That's kind of how it works. I'm going to go back and start over again on a home that's for sale, because I want you to, that when I change those images, it kind of like mess things up. Let's see here. I want to leave it on lead ads. So I want name, email, phone number. I'm going to say this one for sale, lead ads, and create ads. So there's the one thing I wanted to say, and I talk to people all the time, and I remember I was talking to this lady who was in just north of Washington, D.C., and she had this like $2 million home, right? When she said, that's like really high end over there. And I said, okay. And so, we got her here, and I said, well, maybe you want to expand that budget so that more people see it. If you spend $35 on an ad on a home that's for sale, it's probably going to be seen by about 3,000 people. If you put $100, it's probably going to be seen by more like 10,000 people, right? But she was a realtor in the DC area. I said, you should actually expand your radius so that more people know that you handle high-end luxury homes like that. And she agreed. And that was the way that we did that at, right? And so when it comes to getting listings, this is like really the fastest, easiest way to get cheap leads with name, email, and phone number. I also want to speak to something else that's a big deal. So when you come to our system, you can create landing pages, right? And we actually create one that says new construction landing page, right? And so this is in your landing page section. You can customize it, and you could even make it speak to a particular development that you want, right? So you see this one says at El Dorado, right? And they're giving you like a mortgage, they're buying down your mortgage. Like that literally is happening. And you would think, okay, well, I created this landing page and I'm going to go run an ad on it, right? Because you could do that. You could say, go to ads and you can customize that. I clicked the wrong button. Sorry, guys. So you go to ads and you create an ad on a landing page, which in this case would be that new construction. But I want you to think about what I'm going to tell you, because I literally have this conversation with people and then I realize what they're on about. And I'm like, oh, we should talk about something, right? So now I'm running an ad for that new construction that we just were looking at, right? And it's actually not saying what you wanted to say. So maybe you wanted to say, hey, if you buy before whatever that date and get a buy down, right? Right. So you can change this to work there. But I actually am not even recommending that you do this. What I want you to understand is when you tell somebody to sign up for a free list of whatever, it's not going to work as well, especially if you're trying to get buyers, as if you just went over to the listing section and created a listing for a home, like a model home in that area. Now, I was just talking to somebody else this week who said, yeah, I talked to this builder and they have all these models coming on and I can market that and I want to make a landing page. So I said, well, making a landing page is not the way to do it. If there's something on the MLS, grab in the MLS from that home, grab it and pull it in. So we have all the photos. If not, go get your camera and go take some photos and create this listing manually, which is a model home or, whatever, just a home that's on the market already, and have it as a listing and you can say in the ad, like, this is this is a brand new construction. They're going to buy down your mortgage rate, whatever, right? You can get a new custom kitchen if you sign by here, right? Whatever those incentives are, you could literally put it in there. But if you have the listing in here, you will get a better response, meaning more leads by creating a listing for that new development rather than saying, hey, sign up for a list of homes for sale in that area. It just, because people, when they see these things, nobody really wants to sign up for a list. If they like how it looks and they're looking for a home, they're going to click on it. Okay. So yeah, that's just on the listing side. Let's go do one more ad. And when we do an ad on homes that are pending, under contract, or sold, that's the fastest way to get listing leads. Okay. So there's a lot. Like I mentioned, I have a class called Top Tools for More Listings. And one of the things I talk about is run an ad on homes that are sold, they're pending, or under contract, right? I'm going to do one that's pending so that you can see, leave it on lead ads, so that you can see what I'm talking about. The language. So when the home is for sale or open house, the language is saying, hey, we want to get you as a buyer, right? But when the home is later stage, like this one pending, it says it's pending, going to close soon, and that's going to affect your home value. Click here for your home value, right? Notice that the budget here is $50. We put that up because seller leads on Facebook cost more. On average, for a home that is sold, to run an ad like this, those leads cost $7 each. Sometimes when it's pending or under contract, the leads are even cheaper. We have seen leads come in at $2.50 on a pending home, right? You're still getting people who want their home value. You're getting their name, phone number, and email. And instead of paying $7 a lead or $12 or $15 a lead, you're paying like $2 to $3. So it's worth testing out your pending and under contract homes to see if that's working for you. Just to understand, this says lifetime budget. That means that the max you can spend is $50. If you change it to daily, That means you're going to spend $50 a day. You're going to get more leads, but you're going to spend more money. So I just recommend leaving it on a lifetime and setting your budget there. That's the end. It's always a 7-day ad. That's kind of it, right? And when I showed you that video with Brian Mathewson in our mastermind group, I asked him in that video that I showed you, and he said, "Yeah, we got this listing lead, and it turned into a contract like right away, or turned into a phone call and an appointment in one day." I asked him, "Did you do anything to that ad to make it to get that lead?" And he said, "Nope. I just clicked on it and I clicked create ad. I didn't customize anything." So that kind of text that we're looking at right there, for some of you might think this is just not effective. It's actually very effective. So when we go back to ads, let's talk about, let's keep going down the Facebook side of things. When you're running an ad on a home that is for buyer leads, like a home that's for sale, those leads cost $30. When you run an ad on a listing that is sold, those leads typically cost $7. If you run an ad on a PDF guide for homeowners, these can often cost $10 to $12 each. You actually each have 80 of these available to you. 40 for home buyers and 40 for homeowners. So if you don't have anything going on, you could actually run an ad on this, right? And get name, email, and phone number. And I'm going to do 12 mistakes to avoid. I'm going to use lead ads because I like the pre-populated name, email, and phone numbers. And all you have to do is type in, the name of your favorite town. And this is going to show up in a 15-mile radius, or you can make it wider if you want. Over on the right, the text works. It works all the time. You don't need to mess with anything there. That's it. These leads cost $10 to $12 when you're trying to get a homeowner with a PDF guide. That's the average. Okay. You can also do landing pages. And we looked at the new construction landing page. Property Valuation Plus are our home value landing pages. And you should definitely have, a few of those available. I'm going to do one. Let's see. I think I have one down here. Did we take out? Let's see where I have. I want to do if I can see something local. Rockland, Huntington Beach. Yeah, let's do Livermore. Livermore is not too far from me. So this is a Livermore ad. I'm going to type in the zip code. This is not the exact zip code, but this is what happens when you put a zip code. You create an ad, and that zip code tells us to go out and get some sales data from the previous month. Okay. So now my ad is pre-written. It says, hey, 20 homes sold in Livermore last month, and the high was here. That affects your home value. Click here to get your free home value, right? So what should I do? I should type in Livermore, right? That makes sense. There is a problem, however, there. And I want to point out, you notice that I've got that cool photograph over there. When you can make unlimited landing pages. And I know some of you are building your business in 4 or 5 or even a dozen different towns. You should have a unique landing page for every town, especially if you're going to do this kind of thing or take the print letters or the postcards or QR code and be mailing those out, right? But here we're running an ad and we want to target people in Livermore. So you would think if I type in Livermore, that's going to do the trick. Now, Facebook got sued. It was 5 or 6 years ago by HUD for discriminatory ads, right? And that's part of the reason why agents keep getting kicked out, like we were talking at the beginning, because Facebook's just trying to kind of slow down the flow of ads. But let me show you the downside. So the upside is we made that custom. That's a winery over there in Livermore. So everybody that's there is going to know what that is. And you would think if I typed in Livermore and that's going to be good to go, I can just do it, right? But that's actually not going to be that good. And this is not a great example because Livermore is kind of on the edge of a big metropolis, right? Of the Bay Area. The Bay Area is big. San Francisco Bay Area is big. And this Livermore is kind of where things become country. Way over here, these are open fields, right? Usually when I do this, when I'm describing this, let me put this in Google Maps. It's easier to understand when we're in a dense place. So if you are in a place where it's 15 miles to this town, you can use that 15-mile radius. But if you're in a place like this is a 15-mile radius, right? Here, right? And there's probably, I don't know how many people live in Alameda, not 89,000 people, 88,000 people live here, right? So you're targeting Livermore. You have a landing page that talks about Livermore, but because of Facebook, a million other people are going to see this that don't live in Livermore. And that makes that ad kind of weird, meaning it makes it a little bit non-effective. Okay. So what I recommend to our clients is to find a company like archagent.com or listsource.com or remind.com or redx or vulcan 7 or coal resource. Get a list of homeowners in your town like Livermore and get a list of people with more than 5 years equity. They bought it at least 5 years ago. Okay. And you want name, email, and phone number and address. Now, you don't need the address for Facebook, but if you have the address, now you can mail some of our other tools to them while you're running ads to them, right? So that's like a smart thing to do. But you can actually create a custom audience inside of our platform, and that audience will live in your private Facebook Meta account. So instead of targeting a million people who don't live in Livermore, you can take this out and you can check this box and you can type in the name of your deal, right? Your custom audience. And so my custom audience just has a random name, but you would have a custom audience that says Livermore homeowners, right? And you definitely want to be doing this. If you're somebody who has a particular farm market that you want to be, more than 50% of your business or even 80 or 100%, this is something that you want to do. You want to get that list. You want to create the custom audience inside of Facebook and you want to target those people, right? Instead of using that thing. And then since you have the list, you can upload it inside of your CRM and you can, do email blasting with various tools that we have. And you can mail other tools. So when it comes to top tools for more listings, you'll notice that they're really powerful mail tools, there are ads, and there are e-flyers. So with that kind of custom list, that's how you really build your listing business in a particular farm market. So that's kind of everything about Facebook. Any questions about Facebook? What do we include in this list? Name. I think you want first name, last name, email, address, phone number. Okay. And let's go over to the ad section while we are talking about that custom audience. Okay. So you should have a button up here that says create audience. If it's not there, it's because you haven't clicked a couple of buttons down here to make that live. But once it's there, you can see that you can create a list, a custom audience, and you can call it Livermore homeowners. It must be 1,000 leads long. So if you're in an area or a neighborhood where it's less than 1,000, throw in some other names. It's got to be minimum 1,000. And then right here, it shows you exactly what it should look like. The columns, when you buy this list, it's going to have 20 or 30 columns. Save it because you're going to need it for other reasons. But this list has to look just like this: email, number for phone number, first name, last name, those headings, that data, and that's it. And then you upload it and you import it. And it imports into your Facebook account. Even if you stop working with us, you can still target those people. Okay. And that's if you're building a farm market. I will say this as well. If any of you are sitting on thousands of leads, right? You've got thousands of leads because maybe you paid Zillow or you paid whoever. Somehow you have leads in your CRM. You could export those and you could put them up here and call them my old leads. And if you do that, you knew there was a reason they were a lead. You don't know exactly everything about every lead, but Facebook will look at their name, phone number, and email, and they'll find them and they'll say, okay, when this person runs this ad, hit those people, right? If it's that 7-day period. So that's very cool to do. Okay, maybe buyer leads or seller leads. No, I don't think you need to do this for getting buyer leads. If you only need to do that if you are running a home valuation landing page on a particular town. Because if you're doing a buyer guide, it's not city specific. If you're doing a listing, and you're doing, for sale or just listed or open house or whatever, or sold. It actually, you don't need to drive on a particular neighborhood. You can just do it. But if you're doing a landing page and it is about a specific, it's property valuation, it's about home value, like for Rockland, let me show you, let me show you Roseville. Roseville is like, it's a town up north Sacramento where Scott lives, and it's surrounded by a lot of people, right? So you would think, hey, I got to run an ad. I got to say Roseville, right? And so I got a picture of Roseville, and that's all I got to do, right? And because there's a 50-mile radius, let's go look at what would happen in Roseville. And so this is really important if you are in a dense area, okay? And this place here, this actually might be more dense than Livermore, because Livermore is literally on the edge of open fields that lead to the Central Valley, which is just all farm. So there's really cows over there, right? But I can tell you, this is Roseville here. And yeah, that's 15 miles to there. There's 750,000 people just in this area. And that doesn't include these people out here, right? So you're showing an ad that's talking about Roseville to all these people all the way around in this map. So if you're doing that home valuation ad and you're talking about a town, you're not targeting the people in that town when you type the name of that town there. That's what I'm saying. That's why you want to have a custom audience for that town right there, right? Built for Roseville homeowners. Okay. How do you export leads to listings to leads? You don't. You can't add leads to our platform. You can generate leads in our platform, and then they live in your leads tab. Does that answer your question? Yeah, that's, we don't put more leads and listings to leads. We generate leads with our platform. You can export leads. You can capture them here and export them to your CRM, but not the other way around. Okay, so that's Facebook. Okay, if there are more questions about Facebook, please let me know. But we got to talk about the big kahuna, right? The big kahuna is the number one website in the country, and that's this website called google.com. 86% of all questions occur on this page. 86%, doesn't matter. You're looking for a new mattress, new tire for your car, a tune-up, whatever. 86% of the time, everybody comes here, okay? And if they type in like, what is my home worth, or how do I sell my home, or what does it cost to sell my home? You want to be competitive there. And how do you do that? If you go, you can do it directly on Google. I'll tell you this, it is a bear. It's the worst. Like, I don't think agents, it's not intuitive. It's really hard. And you actually need to know a lot. If you're a listings to leads client, you need to know how to click this green button that says create Google ad. I really recommend that you focus on these two right here, landing page ad or a PDF guide ad. I also recommend that you focus on Google for listing leads, not for buyer leads. Okay. If you have a really great website, and to me, a great website is one where if I land on it and I start looking at properties, you're going to force me to register in 3 to 5 properties. That is a good website for me. If that's the case, you can create an IDX ad, right? And that's going to point people to your website. I think it's more expensive. I know you're going to get buyer leads from Facebook for cheaper. So, it's like a slam dunk. It's a guarantee that always works on Facebook. So I don't really recommend it, but if you feel like you really got to do it, that's how you do it. I recommend that you use our landing pages and PDF guides to get more listings. So I'm going to start with a PDF guide. And we actually have somebody in the mastermind group that just a couple of months ago said, hey, I ran an ad on 12 mistakes to avoid. And all you got to do is click the create button and we write the ad. And now you do have to type in the town that you want, right? And I don't think they actually do. Google does a radius. It's just like, that's it. So somebody has to be sitting in Livermore, typing in any of these keywords that we're automatically putting here. So if whatever landing page you put here or whatever PDF guide, we can see the topic and we put in relevant keywords so you don't have to, because you literally would have to put those in. You also have to add, you see this, I'm hovering over here, this blue thing here, these things, those are called headlines. And you have to write a minimum of 3. So we automatically do that. And this section here, which is called the description, you have to write 3 of those. So you have to do that. If you go to Google and do it yourself, that's kind of what it is. Here, you don't need to do any of that. You just say, hey, I want to use that tool and I want to target that city, and we'll create that. I do want to point out, though, that the budget is $50 daily. So it's more expensive than a Facebook ad, because our max ad budget by default is $50 on Facebook. Why do we do that? That's because seller leads cost more on Facebook, cost more on Google. And let me show you this one here so that we're just exactly speaking to kind of apples to apples. So if we had done that Livermore ad, right? That Livermore, what is your home worth on Facebook? Those leads could have cost on Facebook on average $12, right? Sometimes more, even $20, right? But on Google, these leads, depending on where you are in the country, these could range anywhere from $15 to $30 here in the US. Actually, probably more, because I don't know anybody in Manhattan, New York City. But, a cup of coffee is $10 over there. I guarantee you the lead cost is going to be higher in New York than it is in Elko, Nevada, where there's like 1,000 people, right? Because the prices are driven by competition. And so if you've got a lot of competition, your price is going to go up. And if you're in Canada, we have a lot of clients in Canada. In Vancouver, the cost for a lead for an ad like this can range between $200 and $300 each US, right? Each lead is $200 to $300. And that's because the market is very hot with cash buyers, right? And when they see the ad, they click on it, they land here, and they get there, right? So that's just a little bit about that. We make it incredibly easy. If you're a current client of ours, this Google ad software is an additional $30 a month. Okay. And that way you can just run ads very easily, right? You can do it on landing pages, or you can do it on custom guides. I do think, however, when we were talking earlier about Facebook and new construction, I do think that new construction can work on Google, right? So if you do something, and I would say here, like it says new construction, if you were talking to a builder and you knew the name of the development, new construction, you could say at, Bellevue, whatever the name of that is, right? And that would start to reflect in here. And it would, as you can see here, now it says new construction. So if Bellevue is a place that's being advertised heavily in your area, you could do that, right? So, and because if somebody types in like they're looking for a home for sale, that would pop up. You would just need to type in here like whatever city it pops up in. Okay. But typically I always recommend Facebook for buyer leads. And there's so much that you can do with our platform with ads, but also a lot without ads. So you don't need Google unless you are somebody that's typically, handling around 5 listings at a time. You already know that you need Google. And I will tell you this, if you're paying a realtor, you're paying some like ad agency, and there's a lot of people that charge realtors dumb amounts of money because agents cannot figure out Google. And so it's like this black box. And so you're paying thousands of dollars for just a handful of leads. That's crazy. But it is what realtors learn. And so what they should learn is that for $30 a month, they can write their own ads, target their own areas with landing pages and PDF guides, and get leads for a lot cheaper than those kinds of ad agencies. So let's see. What are there any other questions? I think there was one more thing I wanted to say, but that's a bit of my story for today. Facebook, Google. Yeah, there's another cool thing that you might want to do. We built it. I'm just going to point it out. On the listings page is something called listing presentation. And our listing presentation is pretty powerful, right? Because it's just everything that we do automatically makes it look really powerful. You could run that ad on Google, or you could run it on Facebook, right? So if there's any query on Google about how to run, how questions regarding selling a home, this could really be effective too, right? You could say, hey, get your instant home value, or this one is, here's our 100-point marketing plan. Sign up to find out about it, right? So that's the listing presentation. It's kind of hidden on the listings page. And there are other ways you can do it for free on your database. You could run an ad on Facebook, but that's really, I think, also something that you might want to be thinking of. Oh, a couple last things. So if you're a new client and you don't have any listings, I do recommend that you maybe talk to a colleague or a friend or somebody in your office and borrow a listing. Right. You can click grab listing, drop in the zip code and the MLS ID, and we're going to grab it and pull it all in. Okay. That's a cool thing to do. I definitely recommend that, because when you sign up on our platform, we put you through a wizard. We connect all your social media, and we do free content. We do all this cool stuff. But if you need to talk to people, that free stuff isn't going to get you a lot of leads. You need to be thinking, what can I have for a Facebook budget? And, if you're trying to get buyer leads, it's $30 a lead. You're trying to get seller leads, it starts at $7 a lead and can go to 15, $20 per lead, right? So you can decide what mix and what budget you're going to do. I typically tell people this. And this I say to brand new agents. And why I qualify it is brand new agents don't really have much of a budget. And, I know it's a hard market out there. So I'm just going to tell you what I tell brand new agents. You should be running 4 ads a month, one $50 ad every week. It could be about whatever. It could be about a landing page. It could be about a listing. It could be about a borrowed listing. It could be about a sold listing. When you do that, you're going to get a volume of reach. You know what I mean? Like, thousands of people are going to see every ad. So when you spend $200, somewhere between 5 and 15,000 people will see your business page. And you got to ask yourself, especially if you're a new agent, but even for a seasoned agent, how many people do you compete with in your MLS? How many agents are there? Are there 5, 10, 20, 50,000 other agents? That you should know. And how do you get above that noise? How do people even know you're a realtor? Well, if you're spending $200 a month on various Facebook ads, every month, 10 to 15,000 people are going to see that you're a realtor. And you keep doing that every month, and that builds your brand. You don't build your brand as fast on Google. It's not like that. On Facebook, they just see it every time they log in because you've got an ad running every week, and they'll just kind of keep scrolling by it. So I definitely recommend that for the brand building. But also, if you're spending $200 a month, you're going to generate anywhere from 50 to 150 leads every month. And that's when you start texting those leads and you start turning that into business, right? Let's see, Freda, do you have a question? I just see a period there. Yeah. So which is more profitable and efficient, Facebook or direct mail? Facebook is more efficient. So let's talk about it in terms of getting listings. Okay. If I run an ad on a home that's sold, right? And I click this button just like I'm doing right now, and I spend, it's going to go on Folsom. I just boom, $50. You could expect 7 leads, maybe 6, maybe 8, but kind of 7 is the average. Okay. And as fast as I'm yammering on here, that's how fast it happens. And you'd have those leads in 7 days. We have a print tool called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. This generates higher quality leads, but there's more work involved. I'm going to show you the easy way, and I'm going to also show you the hard way. If you have a home, let's just say it's sold, same home, right? Market listing. You want to get the Nearby Homeowner Letter out to the local market. If you have an account with Express Copy, you can click print and mail, and they have a national database of everybody with 6 years equity. So you click this button, get the list, say, oh, I want a 1 or 2 mile radius around my current listing, and boom, hit that there. That cost $185. Our clients typically get 1 listing out of that, right? So if you ran an ad for $50, you'd get 7 leads. It would be very easy, and you would get 7 leads, right? Now, if you converted one of those, that's 12% conversion rate. That's really high. You kind of want 50 or 100 seller leads to convert one, right? And here you're mailing out 100 pieces of mail. You might get 2 or 3 inquiries, but most of our clients are pretty excited if they can get one listing from that. Okay. That's the easy option. That's efficient, right? Let me show you something in the mastermind group. And this really goes back to the class of top tools for more listings. So Pat here has been a client probably for 12 or 14 years. She takes the nearby homeowner letter. It comes out just like that. She flips it over and prints on the back with Microsoft Publisher, so it looks like that. And then she hand folds and hand writes these things. Why would she do that if you can do it in 2 clicks inside of our system, right? Why would she go through all that? Well, she goes through that because the first 100 that she mailed on first 100, she had 4 homeowners calling her for home value reports. On this batch, now that the home is sold, another 3 called her and 1 was texting her. All 8 of those people wanted to sell their home with her. That was from 1 home and 200 pieces of mail. She uses this consistently for over 10 years. And she's in the mastermind group year after year saying, oh, I did this and I got more listings, right? She does it in condos and all that. I did that for a sold listing nearby homeowner. How do we know it was ordered? Is there a way to follow it with do you have Express Docs, Frida? I would call Express Docs and say, hey, I've got an account and I have, I set this out. What's the status, right? We don't have that view of the status inside the system. We're excited to have that integration. It's not a financial, like we're not getting a kickback. We just wanted to make it to where our clients could get that out easily. So every dollar that you spend with Express Copy it's charged on your credit card and Express Copy 100%. Same is true for your Facebook ads and same is true for your Google ads. Text leads with the platform, text leads with your platform. Explain texting leads. Oh, okay. Yeah. So on the leads page, we have AI text follow-up, and AI is smart, right? It's super intelligent. And Scott and our tech team have been working on it for a while. I think right now it costs $50 a month and you can work up to 50 leads. So if you're going to be trying to generate 50 leads a month, I highly recommend you sign up for this. And what it does is it can tell, hey, it's a buyer lead, it's a seller lead, and it starts with its conversation. And what it does is it asks questions bit by bit to get the person to a phone call. And whether you're using our text follow-up or you're using one from your own CRM, maybe they have text follow-up. I guarantee you there's a cost to that. Or whether you do it yourself. Don't have a paragraph sitting on your phone ready to drop on these poor people when you get a text lead. And don't call your lead. I know we've all heard speed the lead. Nobody wants to take those calls. But they clicked on the ad, especially on Facebook, and gave you their name, email, and phone number. They looked at it to give it to you. It didn't happen in the background. And those people, you should be texting them until they're with one question at a time. Hey, I see you saw that home in Denver. Is Denver your area? Like what part of Denver, right? Very simple. Back and forth, just like you were having a conversation until they're just tired of texting. It's like, hey, either they're going to say, I was just thinking about it. Thank you anyway. Or, hey, can we talk? And so what you're really trying to do with converting a lead is closing the phone call, and with the phone call, closing the appointment, and with the appointment, closing the contract, closing the signature. I hope that makes sense what I'm telling you. Okay, let's see if I have. Robert asked, if you use a custom audience, does Facebook strictly target that audience? Yes. No, you don't use both. You don't, when you're doing an ad, you don't use the location and that. You just use the audience. Okay. Because, and I only really recommend that with that one particular kind of landing page, because you're going to get better results. And, just if we go to landing pages, let me just show you something. Let me show you one of the things that frustrates agents. This free home value page, it's in every one of your accounts. It doesn't look like this. This is some really cool AI picture that Scott found, and he likes to put it in there. I actually don't like it there because that's not what your account looks like when you log in. Right? Let me show you what it looks like. We'll have to give it a second because it's going to remove this photo. It's got this generic suburban street with a bunch of driveways and a bunch of mailboxes and some cars in the driveway. Okay. And you probably recognize it. If you're new to us, you would have seen it because we don't put this photograph in here. This is just something that Scott likes. We put it, it looks okay. Now, I don't know where you guys are from, but if that street looks like your street, good, just go ahead and go for it. Right. But if it doesn't, you want to change that. And what a lot of agents do is they like go, I want more listings. I'm just going to run an ad on this. And it doesn't have anything to do with their area at all. And some agents that works out just fine. And other agents, it doesn't, right? Like, let me kind of give you a story. I'm sure you know this from just your own industry, your own business, right? And it's funny because we have a client who does a county-wide, what is your homework landing page, right? And I typically tell people don't do that because people don't want to talk about the county. They want to talk about their town, right? But he's having success with it. So you can certainly try that out. This is the town I live in right here. And this whole area with my mouse is called Contra Costa County. And the price spread of homes can range from 300 grand to 30 million. And they don't get to 30 million in Lafayette. Maybe there's something that's 5 in there, right? But I don't care what you know about out here. I want to talk to the pro about Lafayette. And that's why I think you want to be creating a valuation page that speaks to your town. And you want that custom audience that just targets those people with equity. And that's going to be very powerful for you on Facebook. You can do it without Google. You don't need the custom audience. It won't necessarily target homeowners, but at least they're sitting in that area. But people don't spend all day on Google, right? They don't. They spend just a couple minutes. They ask their question and boom, they're off to wherever they clicked on. On Facebook, they spend 40 minutes on average, right? Might have dropped a little bit. When we see where all of our leads are coming, especially with name, email, and phone number, the vast majority is Facebook ads. That's why you need to make sure your account works. That's kind of the end of my story. How do we get the images from Google? Free images? Oh, well, so yeah, let's say that you created a page for, in this case, I got Livermore, right? But here is Lafayette. I would create a landing page for Lafayette. Just I clicked on the ad on the map here. But when I typed in Lafayette, let me see here. I could have clicked on images. And when you click on more or tools rather, that'll get you the size. You want a large image. And like this one over here, the one thing about this, and this gets a little bit tricky. Oh yeah, advanced usage rights. So Creative Commons license means you can use it. You can use this photo. And I might use this one here because this is the Lafayette Reservoir and everybody knows that, right? But if I hover over here, it says it's 1,000 pixels wide. Your photograph needs to be 2,000 pixels wide. Okay. So this one here is 1,000 pixels wide. And well, this one here, it's a very interesting thing here. It's kind of like a cemetery hill. So that could work, but that's 10,000 pixels wide. It's pretty wide. You don't quite need that. But when you hover over it on the bottom right, it tells you how wide it is. I wouldn't use the freeway, but Wikipedia, this one is 4,000 pixels wide, right? And that's literally flying over the freeway and right through the middle of Lafayette. So, that could work, but I wouldn't recommend that. Honestly, if you have a smartphone, your smartphones, you can take really big photographs, put it to the large, setting, hold your phone like horizontally and go take a picture of Main Street or one of the popular malls or even one of the popular restaurants. Because what you're doing when you put this thing out there is you're telling people their area. A lot of agents think a luxury home should be there. It actually doesn't work as well as when you put something that says, oh, our major park or our bridge and the popular like the reservoir, right, where everybody jogs around and walks their kids and all that, right? So you want that picture to resonate because you're asking for people's address and email address and they don't even know who you are. So you're really establishing some sort of trust by picking a photograph that it's going to help them remember, or know that what's happened. Is the AI text already set up for you? Yes. So if you sign up for the AI text, you just got to sign up and turn it on and it starts going. Right. And so I definitely recommend that for you. Let's see here. Any other questions? I'm trying to get through them all right now. Mm. Oh, and so somebody pre-asked what I recommend spending on Google. If you're signing up now and you're using our Google, it's $30 a month. If you wait 2 more weeks, our price is going to double and Google will be included as well as some other stuff. So if you have people thinking about it, or if you're thinking about it, you might want to sign up as soon as you can, because in 2 weeks, our prices go up and then our team prices go up and everything goes up. So the question of if you sign up for Google, you can run ads for free for 30 days. And since and you would have to pay Google, right, for your ads, but our software is free for 30 days. And I don't know where you sit, right? I don't know where each of you are, but based on how much your competition you have around you, that's going to set the price per lead. So let's say wherever you're sitting, you're running home valuation ads for your area and your leads are $20. You can see that because when the leads come in, there's going to be a dollar amount under your lead. Let's see if I can show you that. So I'm going to go to ads and I'm going to go to Google ads here because it's showing us the thumbnails of what we've already done. And there's a cost per lead. Here it says like $1.71 a lead. Are we on Google? Yeah. So $12 a lead, right? So I don't know what your leads cost, but let's say they cost $20 each. And you are thinking you're trying to get listing leads. So 5 leads would be $100. Well, you can do the math and decide once you know what the price per lead is for the kind of ad you're running, you can say, okay, well, I really want to get to 40 leads a month, right? I remember the reason I say it is I had a Remax team. We still do. And they run ads on Google and they say we convert 1 out of 40 Google leads. So that's kind of the story there. And you know what I don't have, and I wish we did have, is I don't know the total breakout of do Facebook leads convert fast? Do buyer leads convert slower than seller leads? We should really measure that, but we don't. Facebook is to build your brand. Google is for immediate sales, my opinion. No, Facebook can get you immediate sales too. Not all the time, but Facebook is way better for brand building. Yeah. And also cost, right? Making your dollars stretch longer. Google leads are higher intent, right? When I went to Facebook, I was looking at what my friends are doing, what my nephews and nieces are doing and all that stuff, right? Just whatever random stuff. And then here's an app for Sprouts to go buy some water, right? So I wasn't thinking about real estate when I was scrolling through Facebook, but now you put something in front of me that I'm thinking about. So my intent wasn't going to Facebook to find something out. When I went to Google, I had a question that I needed an answer, like real estate Lafayette. So they are higher quality, higher cost, higher quality. If you get good at converting, and if you're going to use our text IVR or not text IVR, our AI follow-up, I would concentrate on Facebook because you will not get name, phone number, and email from Google like you will from your Facebook ads. I hope you understand that. Our lead ad software gets pre-populated name, email, and phone number. And we'll tell you if it's a bad number, but you won't even get 50% of the phone numbers from Google that you're getting from Facebook. I don't even think you'll get 20%. Because when you ask people, let me just give you an example. If I click this button, I think when there's an F there, we're using the Facebook like widget. Yeah. So if I click this, and I'll click it right now, it's grabbing my name and email and delivering it to you. The page might turn around, depending on how you have it configured, and ask for my phone number, right? And so thank you for requesting, we'll send you the information. So, but if you give us your name, email, and phone number, most people are going to walk away when you ask them to type that in. But on Facebook, when they see an ad and they click on learn more right here, this one here, I don't know where they're taking it. It's actually taking it to the website, but on ours, it's actually pulling up their information, right? And they will say, yes, here's my information. They just trust Facebook, right? That's really what it is. When you put a landing page out wherever, they don't really know you. They don't know who's behind this, right? If they see it on Facebook and they see it sponsored by your business page, there's just this inherent trust And that's why we see so many leads happening with name, email, and phone number. So again, just to, not be repetitive, but if you're going to use our follow-up, our text, AI text, I would concentrate on Facebook ads. This is only primarily for real estate versus, say, the golf industry, or it can't be used either. Our ad software is not really geared at all for any other industry other than real estate. If you do, however, go to creating an ad on either Facebook or Google, there's a custom area, and you can but again, like, see here, it's going to have some language built in. You can kind of work with the custom stuff and see if you can change the forms and stuff so it doesn't look like it's kind of pre-built for realtors, right? The ad software. And actually, it might work against you because golf, I don't know what is that a golf community or just golf, the industry, like putters or something? Because we are designed for realtors, the buttons in the back are telling Facebook this is a special category regarding real estate. And that's important, right? That's important for our clients, but we don't want them to have to check that. So we do it automatically. And that might work against you regarding golf, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know, Brandon. I don't know if I would do that because this is going to be a special ad category, which has tighter restrictions than your golf stuff, right? Golf community templates, there aren't, but if you have a golf community, I would recommend you go to the landing page and you create a custom buyer landing page. And you do that by going to the landing pages, click create landing page, and well, give it a second. You want a custom buyer landing page. If you have a free report, you can do that, but let's just say there. And you call it whatever the name of your golf community is. And then once you do that, you can customize the text, you can customize the forms, and then you can run ads with that. You get a flyer with that. You can make a print tool with that if you want and get that out. Right. Well, everybody, thanks for your questions. I hope this helps you. Don't forget, if you got here late, check out our YouTube channel, really get familiar with what we can do. This is a powerhouse. I honestly, if you're in real estate, this thing, it doesn't get better than this, dollar per dollar, it just doesn't even come close. Do you set up a beginner with the program? You're welcome to reach out to me. Yeah, I'm always I'm always available. You can find me on our website, usually on the offices. I set up the offices and the team accounts. But I think if you click agents, you will see the pricing for agents and you'll see my contact info right there. So you can set up an appointment with me and then I can walk you through. I'm happy to walk clients through to make sure that you're set up properly and that you know what you're trying to get, right? We do have a great support team that can help you as well, but I'm always right. All right, everybody. Thanks so much and have a great 2025. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, wait, is there an affiliate? Yes, there is. So if you go into your account, so some of you are coaches and some of you just refer your office, right? So there's a link here that says refer and earn, and you'll need a PayPal account. So if you're using this affiliate page and you put I think you have to put in a PayPal. When you come here, mine's already set, but you have to have I think it's in settings. We drop it here, like connect your PayPal, put your logo if there's a logo, and then you get a unique landing page that people can sign up on. And then and then here's refer a broker so they can sign up. You can do that as well. And then I think you get like the first month's fee if you refer a broker. If you're signing up agents, you get 15% recurring all the time. You're welcome. Yeah. Thank you, Brandon. Okay. Thanks, Connor. Be in touch. Let me know. And like I said, I'm Vincent Listings to Leads. And if you need to talk about your account or you need to talk about your team, I'm always around. Yeah. All right. Take care, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.